Praise be Jesus Christ, now and forever. One of the reasons some people give for what they call losing the faith is their assertion that it's all a fairy story about a man, an old man with a big white beard who lives in the sky. I'd say if that is your faith, it's one that should be lost, and lost quickly, because it bears no relation to what Christians actually believe or teach. Apart from the fact that, as I've said many times, no one actually loses the faith. You lose your car keys. You abandon the faith for many different reasons. One of which is certainly because your faith has stayed at the age of a 5-year-old. We're called to grow in our faith, to allow a childhood or somewhat childish faith to become an adult faith. Part of the problem with entrusting the education of our children to 1 hour a week of a religious education program in a parish, or imagining that even a Catholic school will do all the work, is the fact that, as the baptism ceremony says, parents are the first teachers of the faith to their children. The blessing even continues, "May they be the best of teachers." However, if the parents themselves, often through no fault of their own, have not developed that adult faith, how can they possibly pass it on? As in every other area of life, we shouldn't imagine that we don't need to grow in our knowledge of the faith. Even after 28 years as a priest, it's a wonderful thing to discover new aspects of this treasure chest that is the Catholic faith. That's why our own personal adult education is so important. Reading, studying, making use of talks and lectures when they happen in the parish, and also using all the other multimedia opportunities that are available today. In some ways, we're so much luckier than previous generations that there are so many opportunities to learn at the click of a mouse. However, being truthful, it is a struggle for many to see the Father. How do we picture him? We have a vague idea of the Spirit, tongues of fire, a dove, etc. We have no problem with the Lord himself, but the Father. Is he an old man with a white beard? Philip, one of the closest to the Lord, struggled with this just like us. Remember his plea to Jesus, effectively saying, "Show us the Father, and then we will believe." That beautiful answer of Jesus puts everything to rest. Philip, to have seen me is to have seen the Father. In the 2nd century AD, not really that long after the death and resurrection of Christ, Saint Irenaeus, a man who sat at the feet of St. Polycarp, who in turn had sat at the feet of St. John the Apostle, wrote, "For the knowledge of the Father is the manifestation of the Son." Irenaeus is considered a doctor of the Church, someone who teased out these mysteries of the faith for the faithful to help them grow in their knowledge and love. Pause and imagine the young Irenaeus listening to St. Polycarp tell of John recounting his time with Jesus, what Jesus said when Philip asked him to see the Father. We mustn't doubt the authenticity of the Gospels. Irenaeus continued, "The Father has revealed the Son to this end, that he may be displayed to all through the Son." The Father has revealed the Son to this end, that he may be displayed to all through the Son. Think, meditate, examine that quotation all this week. You will have no problem seeing the Father in the face of his beloved Son. Brethren, rejoice, be perfected, be comforted, be of the same mind, be at peace, and the God of peace and love will be with you.